I'm Nat, he's Matt. We got your geek news right here.
And this week it's a review of a superhero movie that has more heart than just about any other costume vigilante out there. Defendor.
Woody Harrelson stars as Arthur Poppington, and by night he dons a helmet and a trench bat to become the title character, Defender.
Defendor!
Defendor, okay? Happy? Anyway, he's joined by veteran genre character actor Elias Cortez as a scuzzy, dirty cop on the take.
Now, before we get into how phenomenal Harrelson is in this, let's talk about this whole Forrest Gump of superheroes and break this down to the story, and then we'll get into the performances.
Defender?
Defendor.
Look out, termites. It's squishing time.
Who are you supposed to be?
Your worst nightmare.
After he was inspired by a frame of Frank Miller's Dark Knight, where a Batman copycat accidentally kills in his clumsy vigilante quest, writer-director Peter Stebbings just got curious about what that character's life story might be.
So, $4 million later, we are treated to the story of a man with developmental challenges who's pretty much stuck with the intellect of a child. But with that comes a child's simple sense of right and wrong.
Exactly.
And that is where this character really stands out. It's not a Batman who decides you're a bad guy.
No, he's not simply a vigilante just to be a vigilante. This child-minded man actually has such an honorable quest at the end of the day, you know?
Yes.
We won't get too into it right now because you really should see it for yourself.
The amazing thing about it is it's a character that, unlike Daredevil, who is there in the court proceedings, understands what a plea bargain is, gets to the end of it and decides that was wrong. This is really a character who just, on the outside,
has
can
the
tell.
honesty of a child.
Yeah, he can just
He's
tell
black
that's
and white
not right.
like a child.
Like, if you raped your daughter, you're bad.
You're a bad man.
And it's that simple. And so when you've got other supporting characters in this film, like Sandra Oh's character,
who plays the psychoanalyst who's kind of studying Woody Harrelson's character.
And the amazing thing is, while she's the one in charge of deciding whether he's safe to put out on the streets or not, he's the one who has to ask the question, well, did I do something wrong? He's a bad man.
And her hesitation, I think, says it all, because you as the viewer have to think,
what is the right thing to do?
What is the right thing? What is the wrong thing?
And the great thing about this character is that he has no hesitation. He just knows. And that's the beautiful thing about this character, something that you don't find in the Batman, that you don't even find in Superman, no matter how pure a character
really
you think it is.
heartfelt.
Yeah, that was the amazing thing. And, you know, through various twists of fate, not only does this costume he dons make him think that he's got all the power to stand up to people that he can't really have in real life because he's just sort of looked down upon in real life. Through twists of fate, he winds up thinking he's bulletproof. He winds up just being so certain of his mission. And
like a child.
Yeah, it's like in the way that a child puts a towel around his neck and with that cape he thinks he can fly. This character really just shines. The heart of gold of this character is just phenomenal.
Which I love that they even discuss that within the movie itself. I mean, in the radio show, they bring up this argument of this guy, he's captured, he thinks he's a superhero. Is he crazy or is he really onto something?
Yeah, and it really is amazing to see how all of Hammertown, of Hammer City,
yeah,
sort of rallies around him. And it was just his quest against Captain Industry. The whole thing just shows his moral certainty in everyone else's ambiguity. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and Woody Harrelson did an amazing job, might I add.
Yeah, as great as the storyline is, Woody's character is just completely phenomenal. So let's get right into the performances in Defendor.
Trouble has a way of following me.
Arthur, why is it so important that you capture Captain Industry?
Top secret. I'm looking for someone.
Yeah, who?
Evil mastermind, smuggles drugs.
I'll probably know him then.
Show me.
Well, that kind of information doesn't just grow on trees.
Woody just blew me away. I mean, from the very beginning, you get this impression that he's playing a character that could go either way. This could become Simple Jack so fast.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know what, honestly, I wasn't really warming up to it initially. I mean, even though Woody was doing a great job playing this Forrest Gump type of character, I actually found myself, I mean, I'm sorry, but I found myself a little bit uncomfortable for him way too much, especially when he first gets beat up and you're just like, oh man, what are you doing? What is going on? But you know what? Honestly, by the end of the film, I was so moved by how genuine and surprisingly heroic he really was.
Yeah.
I mean, he seemed to have the imagination and social behavior of a 7-year-old child, but he also had the morality of a 7-year-old, which is respectable and arguably more honest and truthful than a lot of like the laws that grown-ups abide by, you know?
Yeah, so Woody's character incredible. If for no other reason, you should see this movie to watch what could very well be his greatest performance.
He's very, very compelling.
Now, Ilya Koteas played this awesome crooked cop.
He's so
this
sleazy.
slimy, disgusting, and none of it was beyond him, which is strange because the man who played Casey Jones actually worked out as this horrible, crooked. Ugh. It was good. He suited the role somehow. He suited the role.
Maybe it's because he is Greek. Oh, anyway, Kat Dennings ends up playing this prostitute junkie that ends up being Woody Harrelson's best friend in the movie. Now, you might remember her from movies like House Bunny, 40-Year-Old Virgin, that she's like the annoying, whiny teenage daughter in it. She's kind of whiny in this one too, but anyway, it works with the character that she plays, right? So anyway, she ends up helping out Defendor with finding his mega nemesis, Captain Industry.
So Sandra Oh, as we mentioned, plays this really cool shrink. Like, she's peppered throughout the entire film as almost the framework for the first 2 acts. And she essentially helps Woody with his case and is having a hard time, really, with whether he's made the right decisions in life. And I was just really impressed with her character because she was a great counterpoint to Woody, because Woody was so certain. And then Sandra plays this character who just really doesn't know what's what by the time she's done talking to this guy.
No, but she was a
great.
wonderful character to watch the movie through, right? I mean, I feel like as an audience member, you're brought through Arthur's story through Sandra Oh's character. So I just thought, and I love Sandra Oh. I thought she did a great job at being this completely sympathetic, warm, understanding kind of psychoanalyst. So
Absolutely.
very good.
Now, if you can track down Defendor, it's in limited release by the production company Darius Films after Sony, the distributor, that picked it up after TIFF decided they just wouldn't bother putting it out in theaters.
So good on you, Darius, for believing in your movie and getting it into theaters anyway.
That's the indie spirit. Now, make sure you can check out this gem. If it's playing in your area, track it down and track it down fast, because there's no telling how long Darius can afford to have this in theaters.
Yeah, seriously. And on the opposite side of the spectrum, however, Disney has gotten their hands on Tim Burton's wild imagination again for his take on Alice in Wonderland.
So don't miss our preview of Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter in Tim Burton's first 3D adventure.
It looks insane.
Hang on.
What are you doing?
Gonna capture Captain Industry.
This Captain Industry doesn't exist. You know what? You're sick, man. You need help. She's not a hooker. She's a friend.
He can be a perfectly functioning member of society who needs guidance.
I'm not a joke.